Another few good days forecast. The overwinter onions starting to keel over now, so that's a good indicator. Start to lift up. I've just lifted the overwintering onions there and them drying in a couple of bread racks on some line pins, slightly angled so we'll get full sun. Very pleased with the result. These are the Shakespeare. I think these two rows there are the electric red, and bringing up there is radar. I had one or two get to seed, but in general it was quite good. So I'm just going to let them dry out. So with this good weather we got, being there 2 or 3 days, and we should start eating. This is today's harvest. I wonder how much this would cost at Wimbledon. The harvest season is well underway now, so it is time to pick, water, weed and eat. Here are a few jobs you may wish to consider for the month of July. Nip out the growing points of runner bean plants once they reach the top of their supports. They will eventually produce another tip and again repeat the same process. This will result in a much bushier plant. At this time of year, when the weather is hot, plants need plenty of water, none more so than the peas, which are producing the pods and swelling, and also the bog plant celery. Never let these dry out. Remove the bottom leaves of tomato plants to the first truss. This will increase airflow and also the light, which in return will help ripen the trusses quicker. Second early potatoes planted back in March should now be ready to start harvesting. Before you dig the whole plant up, just have a little dig down into the soil near the top and see what you can find. The harvesting of rhubarb should be finished by June. Scatter a few chicken manure pellets around the base of the roots, and also maybe a mulch, but be careful not to cover the plant as it risks rotting the crown. Deadhead sweet peas regularly, or they will think the work is done and stop producing those wonderful flowers. During the warm summer evenings, be sure to allow adequate ventilation in the greenhouse and the polytunnel. Leave windows and maybe doors open overnight. Dampen down the floor of the greenhouse to keep humidity at a reasonable level. Stand in a bucket of water inside will help, and then use it for watering the next day. One of the priority jobs this week is to get in amongst the onions and sort the weeds out. And maybe move across into the brassica bed because they're starting to appear in there as well. As part of this onion bed here, I've still got the shallots in, which I'm going to be getting out very, very soon, because this is where the leeks are going to end up. Having a quick look in here, I don't know whether you'll be able to see amongst all the weeds, but the shallots have split up nicely into bulbs, but I'm not sure whether it's me or what, but seem to have shrunk. They don't seem as big as it was. Maybe it's just my weird thought, but I'll dig up and see what we got. It does look a fair few here, but probably all foliage. We won't know until I wash them, so crack on. That's some more wash now. So there's a fair few there, but I like the bulbs a bit bigger. But well, they all clear the racks out with the garlic and elephant garlic in, and I'll put them in there for drying out. One thing I've noticed is all the rain we had, 2 or 3 weeks constant, and then that strong sunshine during the weekend, it's caused a lot of the calabrese, the broccoli, to fly up and more or less start going to seed. So what I'm going to do is try and cut the heads off and salvage what I can, then just let them throw a few more florets out, see what we get from that. There's 1 or 2 plants with the heads still starting to form, so that's a bonus in this case, but in general most of the heads have actually grown too quickly. So it looks as though I'm going to have to cut them. When these plants went into the ground, they were short, stocky, and I was hoping for a good crop of them. But it just shows what Mother Nature can do. A bit of extreme weather, and it all goes to pot. Hopefully the others were in there, they'll throw up some decent crowns for us to pick later. While I was having to sort out on the allotment greenhouse, I've still got quite a few peppers in plants ready to go out. Rather than throw them away, I had a look around and I found a few flower pots that I've potted some up. The compost I'm reusing is the spent potato compost, and I've just revitalised that with a bit of bloodfish and bone in there. So I've potted a few up, and they'll be going into the coal frame. Potted 5 up. These are the Corno di Toro Rosso. Hopefully I've found arms for the others so they won't go to waste. I'll be putting these in the greenhouse until I've cleared a little bit of space in the coal frame, and then they're on their own. I've committed the usual sin and neglected the celery. It's in the greenhouse crying to go out, so I'm going to find a little space to put it. This bed here is where the Overwinter onions were part of them. So that I'll be putting the celery at the front. I think I'll use the back end of the bed to grow the odd quick crop in salad stuff. I had a few people on YouTube have issues growing celery. The method what's successful for me is that for the celery bed, I dig out a fairly deep trench like that. I'll put the most of the soil up there, and then I'll put a good layer of rotted cow manure in the bottom. Mix the soil back in, then plant directly through. And the celery just absolutely love it. The second half of the trench has been dug out and cow manure applied. It's just a matter now of filling in. As you can see from these, they should have gone out a few weeks ago. When I pricked the celery out, I put them in gravel trays, not seed trays, I just flood the tray with water and let them take it up as they need it, and they're quite happy like that for 3 or 4 weeks. I've had these like that. Probably roots at the bottom, but that helps when a good planting out. This is the bed where the celery is going to go. Normally I'd give this a sprinkling with water, but there's quite a lot of moisture in here, even though it does look dry. So I'll be planting out probably 10, maybe 12 in a row, and 3 rows. It doesn't matter if you plant the celery too close, because it does help blanch each other. This has got quite a nice root ball on. The leaves are starting to go a bit faded now, which I think they've taken all the nutrient out of the soil which was in the cell. So get them in the ground. Once they touch the cow manure, they should be well away. So that's the 2019 celery all planted out, variety Latham self-blanching. As you can see, there's still a bit of puddled water there, but that'll soon go down. So you got that lovely cow manure below waiting for the roots. It's not only the plants that need to be kept hydrated this weather, so drink plenty of fluids while the sun's out. Keep your head wrapped up, and most of all, put some sunscreen on. That's about it for this one. I hope to see you in the next one. All the best. Cheers.